It's not always smooth sailing, but the North Schuylkill football program finds success. In 2020, the Spartans finished the season undefeated with a District 11 AAA championship. With many players back and a culture that helps them reload and not rebuild, what's been their strategy in 2021?
Staying the course, everyone just doing their thing, whether it's wearing the masks in school, keeping grades up, working hard at practice. Everyone's just got to stay the course mentally and physically work as hard as we can to stay the course.
In all aspects, the 7-0 Spartans are locked in on and off the field. With so much success in Fountain Springs, it's easy to picture the players as robots who are programmed to win. But head coach Wally Hall isn't building a robot army. His son is. Okay, North Schuylkill quarterback Jake Hall, running back Josh Chowanski, and a few other players are building one robot in class, and I wrote this entire section of the story just to talk about it.
Right now we're building a line following robot, so that's just using an Arduino and then a bunch of other parts to have a robot follow a line. It's definitely complex. This is my first year with that class. So I'm using, like, Josh is in my class. This is his second year taking the class. And then I have also another kid on the football team, Evan Stanakis. He helps me out. We have a video that goes in the computer, and then we follow that and just put all the parts together.
Robot building aside, the football team is together a lot, watching football on the weekends, playing cornhole and video games. Head coach Wally Hall and his staff haven't built robots, they've built a family.
A lot of kids they're cousins, they're brothers. A lot of people are related, and in that family atmosphere, even though people aren't blood related, the family atmosphere is still really big here.
Today we're going to get to know 3 members of the team that are related, brothers Josh and Jackson Chowanski and their cousin Jake Hall. Seeing a Chowanski in the backfield has to make North Schuylkill fans feel good. Josh's older brother Zach was also a standout back for the Spartans.
We're all our own people.
Yeah.
Like he's the smartest out of us, I'd say, but like on the field, he didn't really move side to side. He just kind of ran straight. No matter who was there, his line or another team, he was just running at them. He's a lot stronger too.
What's Josh's running style?
I just look for open holes where people aren't.
It's that easy.
Yeah.
Look where people aren't.
Sometimes I don't even know how I see different things, and it just comes to me.
That sounds easy, but once Josh finds those holes, just look at his speed and moves. That's not easy at all. Off the field, Josh lets his problems slide off of him just like would-be defenders. I asked Hall how he would describe his cousin, and he said laid back.
You were described as laid back. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
So, like, bad play happens, you just let things, like, kind of roll off your shoulders, or?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, there's some frustration there, but...
Do you think that helps you a lot, being able to be a little bit more calm and...
Yeah, because, like, if a bad play happens, you just have to forget about it and play the next play like nothing happened.
Usually good things happen when Josh has the ball. The senior has 1,225 yards on the ground and 11 rushing touchdowns through 7 weeks this season. He'd like to keep his football career going in college, and after that possibly work in engineering or sales.
Why sales? Do you think you got that sales pitch?
No, I think I could use my words pretty well.
Yeah?
So I think I could pitch a nice sale to someone.
Does that work with football too? Maybe being a leader in that, being able to talk with people, being able to communicate?
Yeah, I'm not the most vocal on the football field, but it helps.
Hall says Josh is the most athletic Chowanski. Josh says his older brother Zach is the strongest, and that his brother Jackson is a mix between himself and Zach. To sum all that up, Jackson Chowanski is a sophomore linebacker at North Schuylkill, and he may be giving nightmares to other teams for a long, long time.
I love it. I love everything about reading the offenses, hitting people. That's my favorite part about football, is just hitting people and getting gritty. It's just getting to know your opponents every week. Watching film is huge. You know, watching, for me, middle linebacker, the guards. I read the guards every single play, and reading the running backs, what kind of steps they're taking. It gives away the plays and helps me make big plays.
Before he was watching film as a varsity football player, Jackson was watching other great players on Friday nights.
So what was that like as a freshman, coming up, pretty big program? What was last year like for you?
It was great. Just the whole team going through adversity every day, and following big footsteps of Major Jordan, Tyler Elsden, and watching them every Friday night when I was growing up. It just really helps, and it's a great feeling. Before every game, I say a prayer during the national anthem, and I just thank all the guys that came before us and living on the legacy.
The Spartan family doesn't need Ancestry.com. They know their history. Before fighting through the 2020 season in the middle of a pandemic, the Spartans watched their star quarterback Jaden Leiby suffer a serious neck injury in 2019. That's when Hall was called into action as a sophomore, and he helped North Schuylkill wrap up a Schuylkill League championship.
Jaden come around the team? I saw last year with the coaching staff, and that is nice having him around.
Oh, it's awesome having him around. He was He was one of my friends always growing up. When we were growing up, he lived right behind me, so I knew Jaden for most of my life, and then he was always like an idol to me.
Hall fills out the stat sheet when he's on the field. He's passed for over 1,200 yards so far this season, and he can get it done on the ground too. He just piled up 107 rushing yards in a win over Notre Dame Green Pond. But being a quarterback isn't just about reading defenses and going through progressions.
I mean, when you're playing quarterback, you almost have to be like the field general. You have to make sure everyone's up, everyone's doing their part, and just be the biggest leader. Even if it's not going well for you, you still have to be the biggest leader on the field.
How do you do that?
I do it vocally, but I think a lot of being a leader is not that much vocal. It's how you act, how you carry yourself, and just how you go about your business.
So bad play, you're not, coming off the field might be frustrated, but trying to, for the other guys, be like, okay, we got this.
Oh yeah, definitely. First, there's that bit of frustration, but you have to tell your guys you got this and we'll be good, and just keep going.
What was the biggest learning moment you think in your career?
I think it would have to be, it was a life lesson with Jaden's injury. It was like, yeah, you have to play every play like it's your last, and you have to give it your all and be there for your guys, because you never know what could happen to you.
So the 2021 Spartans are trying to stay the course. It's a course that was laid out and started by many before them, and now it's their responsibility to stay true no matter what crosses their path.
Yeah, it's a huge part of our whole team. Everyone in our community, everyone on our team, that's what we think about, our legacy and what we leave behind.
And so, the journey continues. For SSPTV Sports, I'm Ken Kara.